with just Matthew for the time being. Robbie is in the other room urgently washing out her pen nib, which otherwise will get all gunked up with dry ink. She's also obtaining a wet paper towel to clean up the mess she made on her desk when she was painting the dog that she just created. So the theme of the week is art, and we have been talking about art, and we decided in this last episode to create some art. I don't know where Robbie's art went. But we each created a dog playing baseball, and mine was, as you would expect, magnificent. And Robbie did one of her own with pen and ink, but she made quite a mess on the desktop. So we're just going to have to bear with her for a moment while she cleans things up. Oh, here she comes. Robbie herself. Robbie, I have already exposed the great shame of your mess making, and everybody knows that that's why you are... Oh, this is a wonderful desk, easy to wipe up. All right, there's some more over here. Oh dear, I think your ink well itself is causing smears at the moment. Art is not neat and clean, you guys. Art is messy. Art is a matter of making your mark, and sometimes your mark is not neat and crisp and clear. Have you guys been finding any art in the world that you like, that you want to share with us or share with your fellow viewers? If so, put links over in the sidebar. We'll show it. We'll talk about it. Okay, we have some jokes happening over here. Simon says, by the way, I watched a fictional video about the beginning of World War III, and the roll-up played... Oh, my goodness. All right, so he's giving some recommendations for YouTube videos. Robbie, are you back?
I'm back.
Robbie, I really feel adrift without you.
Well...
It's very difficult to navigate the withering scrutiny that I feel in front of all of our viewers.
I got ink on my mouse.
That's okay.
You guys,
who needs a clean mouse?
Such a mess.
It's all right. It's all right, Robbie. Art is not clean. What's up, Kato? What's that?
Yes. You're not on the agenda.
What does he want to show? Oh, Kato.
Made...
Is this from the book that?
The Geogami.
Okay, so this is relevant to the show. This is from the book the Principal Schaefer's dad, my dude, Grant, sent us. Oh my gosh. Tell us, what is this? What's happening?
So I made one model from the book, which was the cube on the inside, a woven cube made of six modules.
Oh my gosh.
And then I made these little star things on the outside.
You mean this is two different things that you put together?
Can you pull a star piece out so we can see what it...
It told me to do that as one of the things.
Oh my gosh. So that is like an enhancement. It's something you added to the original cube.
Stick something into that side.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And it makes it...
Awesome, dude. Thank you.
That's super cool.
Thank you, Principal Schaefer.
Yes.
For no longer wanting that origami in your life.
Called? Did it say what it was called?
This?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Okay, Geogami, I think is what it's called. If you want to Google Geogami, you might be able to find it.
There, like if that shape in particular
has a name.
Something.
Okay, friends.
Yes.
We're gonna dive right into it.
All right.
Like I've said, we have a dogged determination to finish book 3 of Real McCoys this week.
Oh.
So what?
I don't have it pulled up.
Oh, did you see the sort of fear and concern? Is it there? It is right here. Doot. Okay. Do you want to show them my dog? Anybody who missed in the last show, Robbie and I each created a dog playing baseball.
At somebody's suggestion. Was it Maris?
I think it was Maris. Where is yours? Where did it go? Did you take it away?
I had to put it over there because it's sort of drippy and...
Well, maybe we should wait. We'll wait till yours dries. Okay. We'll start with Wonder Undercover. All right, here we go. Swatsit yo. We continue to socialize this bold new phrase that will slowly but surely take over everything. Music. What theme song do you want to hear, Robbie? Do you want to hear yours?
I want to hear mine.
Okay. Here we go. My son Robbie is sturdy, friends.
Robbie is cuter, and Robbie's just better than Matthew.
Did that make you sad?
No, not at all. No. It didn't make me sad. It didn't. This makes me sad.
I'm in Matthew's face.
Here, the tear is hovering down here. It drops. It drops onto my leg. Now my leg is wet from my tear.
You know what I forgot that I could do?
What? Oh, are you going to do the thing?
That's going to be outdated after this week.
That was very exciting. We might as well get as much out of it as we can.
That's right. I forgot I had done all that.
You know what? I didn't get any more water. We can't drink any
What?
water. I don't have
What?
any water. I don't have any water. Do you want to talk to everybody by yourself while I get some water?
Can our children please fetch us 2 glasses of water?
All right,
Thank
please
you.
do. Please do. Matthew reads chapter 17 of Wonder Undercover. We're just going to get right to it. In times past, we've done a lot of distracting chatter, and then we haven't had time to do the reading, but this week we are prioritizing the literature, my friends. Real McCoy's Wonder Undercover, chapter 17, on the 17th of June. I like how we have alignment between the dates and the chapters at this point. Robbie, could you please go to page 290?
Trying.
Can
Is
you
it called When in Rome?
Yes. Can you believe how many pages you had to illustrate? Good
no.
gravy.
No, I can't believe it. I don't
Robbie
know what
started
I was
illustrating
thinking.
a new book last night, you guys. I
did.
saw some sketches. Why do you have such a bad attitude about it?
I didn't get as much done as I wanted to.
But did you get started? Did you sort
did
of
get
start
started.
peeling the
I did
orange? Isn't
start
that
peeling
part
the
of the?
orange.
Isn't that half the battle?
Yes.
Can you feel good about what you did do instead of bad about what you didn't?
It's so hard.
And emerge from it with a positive attitude,
so hard.
knowing you
Somebody's
created something
bringing us water.
that had never been existing in the world before. Which child is
It's
it?
nice to have children who will do your bidding when you
Kato,
ask. Wait
thank
a minute.
you.
1 glass. We're supposed to share 1 glass.
Oh, I think a different child is bringing you some water. Thank you. Which now, yes, give your mama that really tall glass of water. Let's make her really work for it.
All right.
Alden,
Prost,
Kato, thank
Jackie
you,
Danton,
friends. Cheers.
Bravo. This is the one.
Holy, what?
What?
How do you do that?
Haven't you been watching this
No,
show?
I have, but
yeah.
you do it every day.
It's more shocking in person.
It's amazing.
There are certain feats that are more bracing when you see them in person. It's hard to believe. I think Alden thought we probably had a special effects cam angle that made it look like I was drinking water.
It's real,
fast.
guys. It's real.
Thank you, Alden, for that truth, for that reporting on the truth. All right, we're going to read.
Children. We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
thank you, friends.
Say goodbye to everyone.
Robbie, you got so much joy out of reading yesterday. Would you read again today?
I do like
right.
reading it, and I would read again today.
Okay, please do. I got a little fatigued. I got a little tired.
You're a little tired.
I think I would love to have a. What? That's my dog.
That's your dog.
That's my dog. That's my dog playing baseball.
I didn't mean to show your dog.
It's okay. People can stand
Something
and benefit from seeing that dog over and
happening
over.
with my
Robbie's buttons are not.
my buttons.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna move us over.
Okay. Good.
All right.
All right. Here you go.
Man, I thought I had fixed my buttons, and it turns out I didn't.
You know what? If you ever did fix your buttons to your satisfaction, what else would there be to live for and strive for?
true.
It's
That's
good
true.
to always have a little button
true.
confusion to keep it real, to keep you on your toes, to keep you hungry.
All right.
All right. Here we go.
Speaking of keeping it real
Okay.
and keeping you on your toes.
Okay. Here we go. Now,
Please pay attention to
are
when
we-
you are supposed to turn the pages.
are you talking to me? I always pay attention. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Chapter 17, When in Rome.
That's a phrase, you guys. And the phrase is, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Right.
Okay?
What is the origin of the phrase?
I
That
don't know.
Romans conquered everything, and so the idea was
No,
to just play it safe
I
and
don't-
do what Romans do?
No, I don't think so. I think
Why
that,
Rome?
I don't know why Rome. I think Rome is somewhat arbitrary in this. It's saying when you are in a given setting,
Right.
follow the rules and customs of that setting. Recognize where you are and behave accordingly.
Right.
I don't know the origin of the phrase.
Neologism. That's a phrase.
Yeah.
So it's not a neologism, it's a neophrasism.
You know, what phrase do you want to start?
When in... what are some of those crazy names up in New York?
When in Poughkeepsie?
No, Poughkeepsie's not one of them.
Oh.
When in...
Coxsackie? There's a place called Coxsackie in New York.
It's called
Yeah.
Coxsackie.
Uh-huh.
Yes. It's going to be when in Coxsackie.
Yeah.
Do as the Coxsackians
That is not a
do.
neologism. That is a knockoff of an existing phrase. That is very different than neologism. A neologism has to be truly new. That's just an old and hackneyedism, Robbie. I'm sorry, but that's poor.
All right.
I do not approve of that.
I don't know why Rome is supposed to be our standard.
It was a great, shining
right.
empire.
I mean, that's what I was trying to suggest,
Right.
but you said you didn't fall for it. You didn't believe that was what it was related
Well,
to.
but what I'm saying is, I don't know why Rome has been chosen
Please,
as...
somebody find out why Rome was chosen as
All
the be-all, end-all of what we are supposed to
All
emulate.
right. I'm going to look it up on the
All
internet.
right.
All right, go ahead.
Here we go. Excuse me, but can you spare Moxie for a minute? Of course, says Veronica, wrinkling up her nose with amusement. As I follow Milton into the lobby, my fellow scouts begin a game of Simon Says. What is it? I hiss. I'm in the middle of something. We wouldn't have come if it weren't so important. We? Emily steps out from behind a potted plant with the look of someone who has just been bitten by an otter she had mistakenly assumed was friendly. What is it, you guys? What's going on? I read through Veronica's file, says Milton. Something is wrong, but I don't want to hear it. I'm going back to the meeting. Take a look, Moxie, says Emily with eyes full of sorrow and love. Please. I take the folder. I open it up. Inside is a clipping from the newspaper of a little town about 100 miles from Tiddlywump. The Johnsonville Herald. Local hero moving on. The citizens of Johnsonville thank Ronnie Collins, the great-granddaughter of renowned philanthropist and arts patroness Julia Wonder, for 10 years of faithful service to our library. We wish her the best of luck on her next adventure. But this article is from 2 years ago, which means, as I suddenly realize the awful truth, my brain fights hard to come up with another explanation. But Milton speaks the thought I can't bring myself to put into words. If Veronica spent the 10 years before moving to Tiddlywump living in Johnsonville, he wants me to be the one to connect the dots. But I won't. She couldn't have traveled the world taming tiger cubs, exploring lost ruins, and finding sacred artifacts, says Emily. There must be a simple explanation. Maybe she did her adventuring during the holidays, I suggest. Emily pulls out a book. What's that? Constance Cavendish, Volume 13, When in Rome. What about it? Page 134, she says, handing the book to me. I turn to page 134 and read about a feisty teenager named Constance Cavendish who receives a secret map that leads her to a hidden passageway inside St. Peter's Basilica, where she meets a 127-year-old monk who makes her solve a riddle and gives her an enchanted compass. The riddle is different, but pretty much everything else is the same. My heart shrivels into a small, heavy stone. Emily puts her hand on my shoulder. Constance Cavendish is a British series about a young librarian who loves to read and uses her vast knowledge to solve puzzles and fight injustice. I read a few of the books while my dads and I were in London last year, and I recognized the compass story. How did you find this? I ask, holding up the book, which suddenly feels like the anchor of an ocean liner. I looked online and found it at the Johnsonville Library. My dads drove me over there yesterday afternoon, and I checked out the entire series. That's why you left my house yesterday? Yeah. And did you share your suspicions with Milton on your way out the door? I did. That's what made me think we might find the folder in Veronica's office, says Milton. Which is why you stalled on our way to the library so that Veronica would already be gone when we got there, I say, remembering Milton's I have to go to the bathroom and my leg fell asleep in the car routine. Milton doesn't deny it. Why did you guys keep me in the dark? We know how you feel about Veronica, says Emily. We didn't want to upset you unless we could find actual proof. My brain is stuck between extremely angry and incredibly touched. I have a truly awful thought. Did you miss school today so that you could read through the entire Constance Cavendish series until you found this page? I did. Even though it means you won't be eligible for the Tiddlywump Elementary Perfect Attendance Certificate this year? Yes. I gasp. This will break Emily's streak of 4 consecutive tea-packs. And did you just now find the passage and ask your dad and your other dad, I'm sorry, I can't ever remember their names, to drive you over here in the middle of the meeting so that you could deliver this devastating but important news at the soonest possible moment? Emily nods, her kind eyes full of sad thoughts. I couldn't stand to see you getting fooled for even one more minute. My heart has been defeated, so my epic brain takes over. No, this is all just a coincidence. There's something else in the file, says Milton, lifting up the clipping and revealing a letter. Dear Veronica, you are a baby and I am an old woman. I will likely be gone before I can teach you the wisdom I have gained. And so I am writing down my best advice. I learned each of these lessons the hard way. With any luck, you can use them to be a better and wiser woman than I am. 1. You don't need to be proper or quiet or sweet. You need to be you. 2. But never be mean, especially to other girls. 3. Do not aspire to be normal. It is the opposite of interesting. 4. Never try to dig a hole with a saw or to cut a board with a shovel. 5. The easiest route is not always shortest. The shortest route is not always best. 6. You are capable of astonishing things. 7. Be willing to admit when you're wrong. 8. You have the power to change your own story. 9. Always, always remember where you came from. 10. Experience is your greatest treasure. Love, Grandma Julia. I feel like a tent when you take out the poles, and I'm hoping someone will roll me up and put me in a bag and shove me in a closet until it's summertime again. But then I remember telling Dad I was going to do something amazing tonight. I realized that I still can. It's just not going to be the same amazing thing I was planning on originally. I shove my poles back into place, and I feel like myself again. I have to go inside, I say. Thank you both for everything. You're welcome, says Emily, her eyes like a ladder to a safe, warm loft. Good luck, says Milton, his tiny fist extended in a gesture of brotherly support. I give it a bump, take the folder in the book, and march toward the volcano that doesn't even know it's about to erupt. When I get back to the group, Hilly has just won a round of Simon Says. Even the Dublingers are laughing. It's a happy picnic, and I'm about to rain all over it. I'd like to challenge for my historian badge, I say. My goodness, says Veronica. I'm glad you're on such a roll, but it's time to move on to tonight's lesson. I'm sorry, I say, but this can't wait. No, really, Moxie. I mean it, I say, the ice in my voice stopping all the ships in the harbor. For a minute, Veronica and I have a staring contest of our own, but then she says, all right, I think we have time for one more challenge. My heart begins to pound. My wrists begin to sweat. I don't want to do what I have to do next. I somehow find my feet and discover my voice and speak with my chin up and my back straight and as much of a flourish as I can manage at the moment, which is really not much of a flourish at all. The challenge is to discover and document an untold story of Tiddlywomp's past. I had a question about one of our town's most famous residents, so I went to the local house of history to look for the answer. But, strangely, the information I needed wasn't where it was supposed to be. Instead, I found it at the library. I hold up the folder. In an instant, Veronica's expression shifts from sheer surprise to towering fury to total despair. And then it goes flat, like mountains against the evening sky as the sun goes down. There's no emotion or fight, just a sense that a hurricane is coming and there's nowhere she can hide. Scouts, I think that's enough for tonight, says Veronica. And when everyone starts to protest, she says, sorry, but I'm suddenly not feeling well. Until your parents come, you can use the time to practice for your badges. Moxie, could you please help me clean up? I pick up the mixing bowls and empty eggshells and follow her into the kitchen, dragging my heart behind me like a 1,000-pound weight. Veronica takes a deep breath and leans against the island in the middle of the kitchen, like it's taking all the strength she has to stay standing. Where did you get that folder? She's not accusing me. It's just a question. I think you know. The question is, where did you get it? I think you know. We stand there looking at each other, knowing things we wish we didn't, and neither having a clue what to do about it. Veronica takes the folder and pulls out the clipping. So, you know I used to go by Ronnie. Is that why you're mad? I've known that for a long time. You have? Yes, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't? Not at all. I like the idea that you can change your own story. That's one of my favorite parts of the credo. I used to be just an average elementary school student, but then I decided to become the world's greatest fourth-grade detective. Veronica's face turns hopeful. Like, things are not as bad as she thought. But I also like the part about remembering where you come from. I, for one, used to be a funny-looking kindergartner with a unicorn ponytail. That's my experience, and my experience is my treasure. This isn't your treasure, I say, holding up the letter. This belongs to Julia. Veronica says nothing. She stands there like a crumbling fortress as the catapults advance. I can almost halfway understand someone borrowing someone else's good advice, but borrowing someone else's story? Someone else's accomplishments? I hold up When in Rome, and suddenly Veronica stops looking like Veronica. She slouches. Her eyes are tired and unsure. She looks like Ronnie Collins. She starts doing dishes and stares out the window. She starts to speak, but her voice has lost its punch. I felt lost and out of place as a kid. I always loved that letter from my great-grandma. It seemed to hold all the secrets to the person I wanted to be. And then she turns and looks me in the eye. When I grew up, my dream was to inspire other girls the way she'd inspired me. But I figured no one would want to join a club run by a shy librarian named Ronnie. I needed a better story. So I read every book I could find until I discovered Constance Cavendish and instantly knew who I was meant to be. I loved this strong, smart woman's incredible adventures, so I borrowed a few. How many? I'm not sure. Once I started, it was hard to stop. Your Adventures on the Mudflats of Mantoue, Volume 34, The Manchurian Candidate. That's a funny joke, but it takes too long to explain. The Time When You Were Named Honorary Queen of Bellingrad by Taming the Piebald Jackal, Volume 21, Queen Me. Saving 7 orphans in a leaky kayak from plunging over the fickle falls of Llarfleggins, Volume 18, The Harder They Falls. Matthew's book titles make me crack up. They are so good. Alright, sorry to interrupt the moment. A horrible thought pops into my brain and tumbles right out of my mouth. What about the Annabelle Adams books? You said you've never read them, but if you're a librarian who loves mystery and adventure, you must have, right? I've read every book in the series 17 times. Why did you lie? I've borrowed some stories from Annabelle, too. I just haven't been telling them since finding out you're such a big fan. My heart is as dark and empty as the clear night sky. Veronica didn't travel the world, solving puzzles and battling injustice. She made up a life that she borrowed from books. She didn't come up with timeless advice for the betterment of young women. She stole it from her great-grandma. She changed her story, all right, but then she forgot where she came from. I want to cry and yell and throw a plate against the wall, all at the very same instant. Instead, I take off my sash and drop it in the garbage can along with the broken eggshells. My badges are nothing but colorful lies. I pause in the doorway, wishing I could turn back time, searching every inch of my experience for a way to fix this problem. I just have to ask, was any of this real? I look at Veronica with all my hope. This is the moment when the adult is supposed to pull out the perfect explanation that will make everything all right. I'm willing and ready to hear it. I'm waiting. But Veronica says nothing at all. She looks at me as if I've just unplugged her heart from the battery that keeps it beating. I turn to leave, but when I get to the door, I hear my fellow scouts in the meeting room, joking and laughing and carrying on. None of them knows that everything is different now, and I'm not going to be the one to tell them. I run out the back door and into the night and wait behind a bush until Dad comes to take me home again. Oh, that is so heartbreaking and hard.
Man, thank you, Robbie.
Oh, Moxie's pretty bold to
that takes some doing.
That takes some doing to say to an adult, what you did is wrong, and I think it was wrong.
I hope
why
that
did you do it?
People will admire that about her and see that it's possible to stand up to people who aren't being truthful.
Yeah.
So,
Well, especially hard to stand up to somebody who you love and admire who's not being truthful.
Who's your mentor and model.
Yeah.
It's even harder. But it's all the more important in that case.
That kind of breaks my heart. I do want to show you some cool pictures that I drew.
Okay.
All right.
But make sure to leave a few minutes for jokes.
Okay.
We only have 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay. What do you want to show?
I want to show, first of all, I was proud of these book covers. I don't like drawing book covers, you guys, but I was proud of these particular book covers.
Yeah, I love
that.
The
Manchurian Candidate is a funny joke because, is there an actual island or something called Mantu?
No.
No,
Well, if
you
there
just
is,
made that up.
yeah.
Okay. So the Manchurian Candidate was a famous movie about a guy who gets...
Two movies, actually.
2 movies, but the first one, the second one was just a redo of the first one, right?
Right.
The Manchurian Candidate, about a guy who gets brainwashed and becomes a secret assassin or something.
The president. He becomes the president.
Oh, he becomes president?
Yeah.
Or that. Okay. And then Queen Me. I had a whole different illustration for this that was too complicated because these get shrunk down so small in the book. It had to be a very simple drawing. So I have her riding on a jackal and then somebody handing her a crown from off stage. Oops. And then
I do love that one
this
too.
one is The Harder They Falls, which cracks me up because it's falls. For a guy who doesn't like puns, I feel like
on the covers of cheesy books, that's where puns belong.
And the fickle falls of Farflaggins,
Yeah.
That is my favorite.
Oh, Robbie,
so
thank
here
you.
she is, like wielding her kayak or her
paddle.
her kayak paddle, and the poor orphan's like holding on for dear life. I think that's so funny.
Maris likes little kindergarten Moxie, which I
yes,
do too, with
which
her little
is-
unicorn.
Oh my gosh, how cute is that? I also liked this drawing of the
Oh, me too.
of the sort of
Crumbling
crumbling
civilization.
civilization while Moxie pushes up the catapult.
Yeah.
And then there's another drawing of a town. Is it this one?
I don't know.
No.
Here, you can zoom out a little bit. That might make your navigation a little bit easier.
Oh,
I love
this
that
one's
one,
really
too.
good.
Yeah.
You know what? The water turned out great down here.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's
That's
an
almost like
accident.
luck, right?
That was an
Yeah.
accident with how the watercolor sort
You
of
just
reflected.
took a good
Here,
sample.
look over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Doesn't that look great?
It's awesome.
It looks very watery.
Yeah.
So I was very pleased with how that was totally an accident.
Awesome.
Okay.
Love it.
So there we go.
All right, let us conclude with the joke or
That
two.
makes me so stressed out and sad.
Where we left the story.
Yes, that is such a hard thing. I so
We
admire
have
Moxie.
2 chapters left, Robbie. 2 chapters left. 2 days left.
We have to fix this thing.
We're gonna do it.
Moxie has to fix this.
Rest
thing.
assured, I'm gonna land this helicopter.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right, we got some jokes.
I'm
Thanks
ready.
to El Puppy. You
Bring
ready?
It. Bring it. I'm ready.
What did Jack say to Jill after they rolled down the hill?
Ouch. Or why don't you be more careful next time?
I
Or
mean-
that's the last time I'm letting you hold the flashlight. Or
Was it in the dark?
well, in this story it was. In my answer it was.
How does the poem go? Jack and Jill went up the
To
hill
fetch a pail of water.
Jack fell down and broke his crown,
crown.
and Jill came tumbling after.
So,
Okay.
next time I'm gonna tumble into you, Jill.
I mean, your ouch was sort of along the same lines. It's not. It doesn't have to. It's not a. It's just a funny thing.
My broken crown is very expensive, and I didn't have any insurance for that.
No.
What is it?
I think I spilled the water. I don't know why I think that's funny.
That's very funny.
Because you think it's going to be a joke, but
Yeah,
if
no,
he tumbled down,
I like that.
I
I
think
like
I
that.
spilled the water. What animal dresses up and howls?
A werewolf?
A were, W-E-A-R.
A werewolf.
A werewolf.
I like that.
That's good, but you
Good.
got to read that one to get it. What time is it when a ball goes through the window?
Time to get a new window.
I've heard different variations of that before. Not about
You know what it is? Time to
What?
run as fast as you can in the other direction.
Yes. Ooh, I have a story when I was a kid.
yeah.
A bunch of neighborhood kids came over and we were playing a game and we broke a window and everyone else ran away. And
In
we
your
got in
house
trouble.
or somebody else's
No,
house?
in the lawyer's office.
Oh, did you? Oh, a lawyer's office.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And so you took responsibility?
We didn't really take responsibility, but then our dad yelled at us
Yeah.
and we took responsibility and we had to get a pane of glass and fix the window. Like, we had to do the whole thing.
Good for you. Good for you.
That was all my dad. I would have just been like, yeah. If I had been a savvier person, I would have run away. But I was.
I'm glad that you did not, Robbie Bear. I'm glad that you're a person of integrity.
I knew that we couldn't run away.
It's 2 o'clock.
Yes,
2
somebody
o'clock.
had to own
2
it.
o'clock. They're going to start scolding us.
Wait. Kato has one joke.
Okay, but I know this one, so you're
do?
going to have to let others. Yeah, I think so.
Who is the knight of the circle table?
Well, that would be Circumference.
Circumference. That is such a good one.
I love it. I think Kato made that joke,
think he
right?
did.
Yeah, good job, Kato.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I think that's it. Goodbye, everyone. Oh,
Goodbye.
Matthew's going to go take a nap.
I am going to go
think.
take a nap. Thank goodness you read. I don't think I could have gotten through it.
Well, I enjoyed reading, but it was really heartrending.
Yeah.
I have to say.
All right, friends. We will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Remember, tomorrow's the last day
Please.
for your art research, for your art
Yes.
submissions. Send them
Yes.
over. We want to, send you off with a bang.
But again, doesn't have to be encyclopedic and thorough.
Just
it
one.
just has
Just
to be
one little
some
nugget.
little nugget of
Yeah.
information.
One
that's
painting you
interesting.
like, a
Yeah.
video that you think related
Yeah.
to art that you like. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you, dudes.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.